Hi, I'm Brian Alexander,
And I'm Allison Lakin, and we're editors at driverside.com.
and you're watching a driver's side how-to video.
Hello, my name is Kim Perrin. I am the staff mechanic for driverside.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to change your own oil. So to do an oil change, you need oil, you need an oil filter, you need an oil filter wrench, and you need a ratchet or an open-ended wrench to take off the drain plug. A ratchet looks like this. Oil filter wrench looks something like this. You can get them at your auto parts store, probably about $10. And for your oil, you probably need a certain weight of oil. Sometimes on a car, you'll see the oil weight will be on top of the oil cap. In this car, it's not. Sometimes you'll see they have markers up under the hood that tell you what the weight of the oil is. And if not there, you can try the owner's manual of the car. It should have the weight of the oil. And also the amount of oil. Average 4-cylinder motor is probably 4 to 5 quarts, but you definitely want to get this stuff right. There's also 6-cylinder, 8-cylinder motors. You don't want to get that wrong, but we'll talk about that at the end of the oil change when you're checking the level. So now we're under the car. So this is a great advantage of being a mechanic and having a shop to work at. I can put it on a lift, put it in the air, and I can easily and safely get under the car. You working at home will not be able to do this, but this will help a lot because at least you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing here. It'll be a lot harder probably if you're doing it in the front yard with a jack and jack stands, but yeah, not everyone has a lift in their backyard. So here we go. So here, this is the bottom of the motor. This is the drain plug here. Just put the ratchet on. Now when you're at home, you want to make sure you have a drain pan. We have a big drain barrel here, but at home you definitely want to make sure you have it ready when you're taking this out. And watch out if the car is warm because the oil could be hot. And the oil filter is up right here. Some of these you can take off by hand. Some of you don't need a wrench. They're standard counterclockwise to take off. Let's see if this one comes off without a wrench. It does. So this is the oil filter. One thing you want to do with the oil filter before you put it on is you want to get a little bit of oil, and I've already put a little bit of oil on here on this rubber gasket. You want to do that so the rubber gasket doesn't rip when it hits the metal that it adheres to, that it spins onto. So we just finished putting on the oil filter. One thing I just wanted to mention is you can put this on with your hands and make it hand tight. Just be sure to make it pretty tight with your hands. Next thing to do is put on the drain plug. So here's the drain plug with the new drain plug gasket on it. And one thing you want to do right before you put it on is you want to just wipe off the excess oil around the drain plug hole and make sure the sealing surface is clean. Again, on tightness on this, you do have to use a wrench obviously to put this on, but you don't have to tighten it too much. You don't want to strip these out. It costs a lot of money. All right, the next thing to do for me is to lower the car. For you, it would be to go on the top side of the car and fill up the oil. This is a quart of oil here. You're probably going to need 4 to 8 quarts, depending on the size of your motor. You want to go find the oil cap on the motor. It's usually on top of this, the valve cover, and pull off the oil cap. Probably want a funnel, which we have a funnel today. So it's important to know exactly how much oil your car needs and stop putting in oil when you've reached that amount. If it's 4 quarts, put in 4 quarts and stop. Then, ideally, what you'd want to do is start the car quickly so oil gets into the oil filter. So, quick start of the car. Just let it run for 15 to 20 seconds is really good enough, 30 tops, and then turn it off. So once you've started the car, you want to come back to the engine compartment and you want to check the oil level. And this particular, on your engine oil, always check the oil level with the motor not running. So find the dipstick on the car. Here's the dipstick on this car. We pull it out, have a rag, wipe it clean so there's nothing on it. You can see the level marks right there on this one. You see a top level and a lower level. They aren't marked on all cars, but it's pretty standard to have something like this, an upper and a lower level marker on the dipstick. So put it back in with it dried off. Just make it snug and then pull it back out. And you see on this, you see that's the top level there, so we're probably about a half a quart short. And that's pretty normal to be a little bit short and to have to add a little bit more after you've started the car. Okay, so now that we've added a little bit more oil because it was a little short, we're going to check it one more time. And here we go, and you can see the top level is just covered up there, so we're good to go on the oil change. So that's it. Now we've changed the oil in your car. So the main thing you want to do after this is make sure you change it at the right time. A lot of people like to change their oil every 3,000 miles. That definitely makes the car last a lot longer if you change it that often. And as well, you also want to check your oil, probably at least every 1,000 miles for a car that's been driven for several years.